Well, good morning. It's Wednesday, July 19th, 2023. I just got home from 2 days worth of driving from Florida to get back here to South Jersey with my daughter, who's going to help in taking care of my post-op needs. But today is the septoplasty, the deviated septum correction surgery, which evidently I've really needed for many years. They call it the septoplasty with turbinate reduction. I do not believe they said that there was much in the way of the turbinate reduction that needed to be done, but they definitely need to go up there and correct the septum, because I'm 100% blocked on this side and about 80% blocked on that side, so it's sitting kind of, weirdly. Evidently I haven't really breathed right for 40 years, and this is going to make a world of difference. But I've watched a lot of videos on septoplasty surgery, and to tell you the truth, a lot of it just looked really nasty. But my ENT says she does it a little differently with micro sutures, and takes her a little bit more time to do it, and therefore the end results don't seem to be as bad as most. But we will see. So going into the hospital this morning, and I'm going to try to film up to the surgery, and then hopefully shortly after the surgery. So here we go. Septoplasty. All right, it is 11:30 approximately a.m. on this Wednesday the 19th, and Hannah is taking me into Jefferson. Oop, got him up. Right over the curb. Oh, another bump. Jefferson Surgical Center, Center City, Philly. That's where I'm going to have my septoplasty done. Thanks, bud. Yay.
No problem.
So I'm going to get in there, go through some of the pre-op. We'll film inside the pre-op a little bit, and then hopefully I'll be able to film shortly after I come out of the groggy woggies. Looking forward to it, actually. We'll see how it works out. Cheers. All right. In the Jefferson Surgical Center, in the waiting room, waiting to be called back for pre-op. So, Hannah did a great job driving me over here. No real traffic. Checked in real easy, so. Videotape a little bit more, hopefully, when we're in pre-op, just hanging out. Here we go. All right, we are in pre-op room. I've got my nice gown on. I've got the IV ready to go for the anesthesia, general anesthesia. Put me to sleep for a little bit. So, yeah, septoplasty with turbinate reduction, although I don't think my turbinates need too much work to them. I don't think they were that bad, so hopefully not, but not too far away from getting this all done, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to you shortly afterwards. Cheers. Out of surgery and post-op. Not too bad. I actually don't even have any drainage. A little bit of headachy, but the nose just feels a little bit sore, like someone just kind of punched me, but not too hard. Not looking too bad. I feel pretty good. I just had a great twin pop. So getting ready to get my clothes on and get discharged, but we'll talk more at home about the whole experience, but fantastic here. Jefferson in Philadelphia. Well, we're in Hannah's car. She just picked me up from Jefferson post-op. I got my little football helmet without the helmet on. Hannah's over there driving. Thank you so much, bud, for everything you've done. We're going now. I haven't eaten all day, and of course, we're driving through Chinatown. Fortunately, I can't smell anything, so that does help a little bit. But obviously all I can think about is like General Tso's shrimp and some fried rice, and every place that we're seeing right now is advertising fried rice and General Tso's shrimp. So, but I actually don't feel bad. I've seen a lot of videos on this surgery, and they look a whole lot worse than I do. It feels kind of like if you were walking down the street, you dropped something and your friend didn't see you, and they turned and their elbow kind of bopped you right on the nose, and you're like, ooh, it's going to hurt for a couple of days. That's kind of what it feels like. The worst part of coming out of everything was just kind of a headache from the anesthesia and whatnot. They gave me stuff for it, so not too bad. I go back in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 days to my ENT's office to get everything flushed out and cleaned. She said possibly on Sunday, which is 4 days. I asked her if I could go to New York because we've got tickets, Hannah and I, for Gray Houses, which is kind of like the cool thing in New York right now. And she said, you know what, it is up to you. The worst part of everything you've got going on, barring any weird, infections and things, which is very unlikely, is that your nose will feel very congested, and you just don't want to be blowing or doing anything. You just kind of deal with the congestion. So we'll see, but that's it. What time is it? It is
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. We got in there at about noon, let's say. So 6-hour total turnaround from dropping me off from the car to in the car. And that's it for now. We will update it shortly as we drive through Chinatown, Philadelphia, on our way to the Ben Franklin Bridge. Cheers. Well, all right, here we go. Let's see which way to probably go like that. I am at the end of day one, which is surgery day. I went into the hospital at 11:30 a.m. Pre-op started around 12:20, I think, p.m. Surgery wasn't until about 1 or so. They said the surgery took about an hour and 45 minutes. My ENT was very good, but she said she does take a little longer than most because she uses some very delicate microsurgery, which helps with the overall pain and swelling to keep it reduced. So I've got this thing on right here. This is just for any kind of blood dripping out, but it's about 11 o'clock at night right now, which is about 9 hours after the surgery finished. 9 hours. This is what we got. I mean, I got blood dripping, obviously, but that's a close-up. You can compare it to the earlier video, but not really swelling in around the eyes. There's swelling of the nose. It is stuffed as far as like very congested. Hold on one second here while I reposition this thing. Hold on. There we go. That didn't work. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I just had to make sure I repositioned the gauze pad. Again, a little nose swelling. The nose is crusty and stuffed. It's bleeding. It's trying to clot. It's going to take a few days. I just rinsed both sides out with the saline solution. I'm just on extra strength Tylenol and some antibiotics. Nothing stronger than that. But it doesn't hurt really. I think the most pain I had was after the surgery with coming out of the anesthesia. Had a little bit of a headache, and they gave me some stuff for that. It went away. Right now, it just feels like somebody might have just accidentally bopped you with their elbow on the nose, and you get that kind of ow, and now it's sore a little bit. Doesn't really hurt much more than that. The biggest thing is going to be, you can't blow your nose, you can't, suck anything in. You gotta breathe through your mouth, and they want you kind of elevated. I'm not gonna sit in this chair. I can lay in bed, but with like a wedge and a couple pillows behind me to stay elevated as I sleep. But I am a CPAP user, and they said no CPAP tonight. if it's not bleeding and it doesn't bother you, I could use it tomorrow night if I really wanted to. I did see an ENT out of London that posts a lot of videos on YouTube, and he was all for CPAP right away because of turn the humidifier up and all the moisture goes into your nose. But with as much as it's kind of dripping blood and trying to clot, I don't think that's a good idea. So here it is, 9 hours after the surgery finished, day 1. I don't feel bad at all. My ENT tells me wait till it's all said and done next Tuesday when she washes and cleans everything out. I'm going to breathe like I've never breathed before, wonderfully. So we'll update tomorrow with how I'm feeling on the first night after surgery. Septoplasty and turbinate reduction. Cheers. Well, good morning. 6:30 a.m., 6:40 a.m., the day after the surgery. And as I expected, I didn't sleep very much at all. Trying to sleep propped up without my CPAP. Just mouth breathing. It was kind of tough because it seemed like every time I kind of fell asleep, I would snore or try to snore because I don't have my CPAP and mouth breathing, and I almost feel like I was, blowing out, which you're not supposed to do. I would catch myself and don't do that too well. So yeah, the sleeping was tough. However, I mean, I just did a little cleaning with a saline solution, and so there's a little bit of blood on there from the inside. I washed up around the edges of my nose, but again, it feels extremely packed. It feels sore, but more like a pressure sore. It doesn't hurt. I'm taking extra strength Tylenol, but it's not so bad that I woke up this morning and reached right for the Tylenol to go that route. I'll probably take it at some point, but it doesn't feel that bad. It just feels like a super bad head cold now. Like it's just completely stuffed up. But not bad after day 2. I don't think it looks terribly bad. My nose is a little swollen. I don't have lip numbness or teeth numbness. I don't really have black eyes. So all in all, really not bad. Just kind of tough sleeping. So maybe I'll nod off and on today. Although my ENT said if it was possible, on day 2 I could probably try to wear the CPAP. So that might be good. However, it might force all this gunk up into my cavities and down the back of my throat even more. So I'm not really sure. But I gotta do something to sleep. So that's the update for now. I'll update a little later today. My septoplasty with turbinate reduction surgery. All right, it's about 4:45 on Thursday, which is day 2 after the septoplasty turbinate reduction surgery. What I didn't realize, because I've had this gauze thing on, I've been doing this or that, it's like I kept feeling like hard things right here at the end as I was spraying some saline solution up there, but I thought I wasn't going to have any packing material. Turns out the doctor, when I was not even thinking straight, had told my daughter that there is packing material in here, so there is some gauze packed in there. That's why it feels really full and congested, and it is congested. Can't breathe it all through my nose, which she said it'll completely change on Tuesday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 5 days from now, when she pulls all that stuff out. So, how am I feeling? Again, I had little to no pain at all with the surgery. The annoying part is just your nose is completely packed shut. with the packing, the gauze, and just crusty, bloody, clotting, gunky blood. And it drips. That's why I wear this. Just a little thing that you just wrap around your ears, and it holds a piece of gauze underneath your nose. I've been flushing it out with saline solution. I've been taking my Tylenol extra strength, but I don't even think that's even necessary. Again, it just feels like somebody whacked you hard in the nose, and it's just a little bit sore, and mostly just packed. The hard part is sleeping. Just breathing through my mouth, and I do have mild sleep apnea. I do use a CPAP machine, which I can't use with this, obviously. So I didn't sleep. I hardly slept at all last night, because when I try to fall asleep, my mouth was open. My mild sleep apnea would kick in, and it would kind of force everything to be pushed out, which is what they don't want you to do. It felt like I was just going like, and trying to blow it out while I was sleeping, which immediately woke me up. So sleep's going to be tough. Sleep will be tough, at least for me. Some people can fall asleep with their mouth open and it's fine. But that's the report on day 2. I don't feel too bad. I'll show you. Let's see here. Hold on 1 second. Let me just give it a little, so I don't see all the bloody part. But yeah, see, it doesn't look too swollen. It doesn't look too bad. You'll see up in the nose of the packing. But yeah, that's it. Day 2 of Septoplasty turbinate reduction. Talk soon. Well, good morning. It is Friday, July 21st. This is the morning of the 3rd day after my Septoplasty turbinate reduction. Last night I actually fell asleep somehow. First night I didn't sleep awake. You can hear even really blowing. But lip is a little sore. Notice that. A little puffy. This side of my face is a little sore. They must have, I don't know, propped me against something or whatever with surgery. The actual nose is not sore. It doesn't really hurt. It's just packed with everything, so you can't breathe. What I didn't know, and I think I explained this yesterday, is when I came out of surgery, the doc called my daughter, who was going to be picking me up, to explain what happened and how the surgery went, because you come out of anesthesia, you're all loopy, you don't remember anything. But my daughter kind of forgot to tell me that the surgeon, who said she doesn't always put packing in your nose, all the gauze packing to absorb the blood things. That might not happen. Well, evidently it did happen. And that's the struggle right now, is that both of my nostrils are packed with something. I can kind of touch the ends of it right there. But it's filling up both sides of my nose with packing. It's sucking up all the blood. It's clotting all around it. So there's virtually no way to breathe through your nose. And because I'm a CPAP user with mild sleep apnea, I'm not used to breathing through my mouth without causing a problem. But somehow around 1 o'clock in the morning, I fell asleep. And when I'm sleeping, I tend to go into sleep apnea, and then I will kind of snort out. You're not supposed to blow out any of this stuff at all. I woke up this morning, I had like some blood lines down here, so it was dripping a bit, but I did sleep a while. My throat is sore because all you can do is breathe through your mouth. So this is Friday. I gotta wait till Tuesday to get all this stuff out. So it'll be a bit of a struggle throughout the weekend and just breathing and sleeping. But overall, not bad. I've talked to people who have had the surgery, and they said, "Wow, wait till Tuesday. Wait till Tuesday when you get the packing pulled out, and it's going to be a rush of air. You're going to get an oxygen high, and you're going to breathe like you've never breathed before. So all this struggle will be worth it. It's what I hear. But again, it's not painful. I'm not in any pain whatsoever. It's just That's the morning of day 3 of my surgery. That's what she looks like. Well, here we go. Today is Saturday, July 22nd, day 3 after the surgery of the septoplasty, turbinate reduction surgery. 3 days later, had the surgery Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock. It's now Saturday morning. Not a whole lot different. I still have a hard time sleeping, although last night I seem to have slept a little more, but I wake up and I'm completely dried out, and because you have to breathe through your mouth. The nose is just, it doesn't hurt. I really haven't had any pain from the surgery at all. I'm only taking Tylenol when I need it, and I really haven't needed it. It just feels like an extremely bad head cold where you can't breathe out of each nostril at all. And that's all the packing and the splints that are in there. And it's so frustrating because it just, you can hear all the gunk in it, and you just want to go and get it all out, but you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. So it just kind of, even the dripping has really subsided down to just a little bit. When I stand up and move around, you get a little like pinkish dripping, not really blood, just kind of rose-colored dripping. So the hardest part, well, the only thing that's really like bothered me as far as hurting, obviously I guess they had the tubes in your throat, so you got a little sore throat when the tubes went in for oxygen. The upper part of my lip up here is kind of swollen, probably from them pushing on it to, as they're doing surgery. And this side of my face, I must have been laying somehow, it hurts a little bit. But the actual nose, the surgery of the nose, doesn't feel bad at all. So if you're looking at septoplasty, whatnot, and are worried about how bad it's going to hurt, it really doesn't hurt. It's just annoying, like a bad head cold where you can't breathe. That's the worst part. So I've got 3 more days until I go back to the ENT, and she takes everything out, which evidently is the aha moment, and you go, oh, I can breathe through my nose, it's gonna be great. So what I want to do is I just want to get through today and get to tomorrow night, which is Sunday night, and I've been sleeping here in the chair, sleeping upright, because once I fall asleep or try to sleep tomorrow night, then I know I'm into Monday, and Monday's the last day I got to get through before the wake up gets me to an ENT to take all this out. Then that'll be a wonderful thing. So that's the update. Day 3 after septoplasty, turbinate reduction surgery. It's not bad. It's just mostly annoying. You can get through it. All right. Cheers. Talk to you soon. Well, okay, here we go. This is day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is 4 days post septoplasty turbinate reduction surgery. Still very stuffed, which is normal because there's packing in there, and there are splits in there. Again, not painful, just more annoying than anything else because it just feels like you can't breathe through your nose. And you're not supposed to blow your nose, and it makes it hard to sleep, but not bad. So I've got 1 more full day, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting tonight over with and waking up tomorrow, so to speak, even though I don't sleep well, and have 1 full day left, and then Tuesday morning I get all this packing pulled out. But still a little swollen in and around here, over here. But not too bad. As I said, I don't think the process was terrible. I don't think mine was that bad. Of course, some people may have a lot more turbinates to be shaved down, or sinus polyps, or whatever they're called. But not bad. It's just tough on the sleep, and Kind of makes you tired. So one more full day, and then Tuesday morning, I get all this stuff out. So cheers. Oh, all right. Well, it is Monday, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Day 5 after the septoplasty turbinate reduction surgery. Not a whole lot to update. My nose is still packed with the gauze and it has the splits. But tomorrow, which is Tuesday, tomorrow morning, day 6, I go to the ENT and I get it all removed. So just got to get through this last day. Again, no pain, more of just a completely clogged up nose annoyance. So yeah, really looking forward to tomorrow. So that'll be the big update. But for today, no real changes. Okay, it is Tuesday, day 6 after the deviated septum turbinate reduction surgery. And this morning, it's 7:20, in about 3 hours, I've got my appointment with my ENT, where she will remove all the packing and the splits and everything, which has prevented me from breathing at all for 6 days, and pretty much from sleeping. So I can't wait for that to happen. I don't know that I'll actually film the removal. It's kind of gross. I mean, it is what it is, but I will film like right after it, let you know how it went. So that's happening today. We'll check in soon. All right, at the hospital. Here we go, get all this packing out. All right, we are in the doctor's office. The nurse just kind of sprayed my nose a little bit for moisturize and whatever, but here she goes back. See what this looks like before and after. It's all good. Doc's gonna clear it out. Talk to you in a minute. And there it is. I'm in the hospital, the doctor's office waiting room. I just got out of the office. I didn't want to show the actual pulling out of everything because it was kind of disgusting. But, you know, I ran into someone in the elevator who said it was extremely painful when they pull everything out. Didn't really bother me at all. There's a part where they put in a little vacuum cleaner to suck everything out that gets a little bit like, eh. But I can breathe. Look at that. Everything's out. The surgery was wonderful. Everything has healed wonderfully. Still have a couple weeks of actual healing, but back to normal. CPAP usage, everything's back to normal. I can blow my nose. I can do everything. Absolutely wonderful to breathe again. And I'll update you more when I get home. Right now I have to finish checkup. I have to come back in a couple weeks just as a checkup. But fantastic. Look at that. Love it. All right, it is Tuesday, noonish, and I just got home from the ENT's office where she removed the splints and the packing and everything. And I'll tell you what, it is funny. This is all my deviated septum turbinate reduction surgery. I was in the parking lot of the hospital where her office is. Ran into somebody. We got to talking, and I just said, yeah, I had nose surgery, deviated septum last week, and now I'm getting the stuff taken out. And they were like, oh, you're gonna feel so wonderful, but I got to tell you, the taking all that stuff out was the worst part of the whole surgery. Really hurt. I was like, oh, thanks for telling me. So then I leave the parking lot and I get into the elevator to go up to the floor where my doc is on, and on the elevator, one of the preceding floors, comes a nice woman, and she's like, hi, and I was dabbing my nose, and I said, I'm sorry, I had nose surgery last week, and it's still a little bit dripping, but I'm having all this stuff taken out, momentarily. And she said, oh, I had that deviated septum surgery. Oh, the worst part is when they take everything out. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, that really hurt. So I'm like, oh my gosh. But I get into my ENT's office. She takes a look at everything externally. The nurse had already sprayed some saline up there to get everything nice and moist. But she took a look at it, you know, from the scope. She said, "Oh, it looks wonderful. It healed wonderful." So she went in and she basically made 2 clips on this side of the nose, which like evidently freed up the splints. I guess somehow they go through your septum with one long stitch that connects everything and ties it tight to keep it straight. So she did that, and then she just kind of pulled this one out and pulled that one out. I mean, it felt a little weird. It didn't hurt. I mean, it's not like I went, ah. It makes you kind of go like, oh, you know, like a little gag. But it's fast and it's easy and it's slippery and it comes right out. I think the harder part is, you know, she does a little suction around the inside of both nostrils real close, but then they put in 2 of those long swabs that have the numbing agent on it to numb your canal, and they leave it in there for about 30 seconds or so. And then what she does is she takes those out and she has like a long curved metal vacuum cleaner, which is like connected to a scope, so she can see in there. So she goes in each side and then kind of vacuums all the gunk and everything out and looks around with the scope. Now that, it doesn't hurt. It's a little uncomfortable having something basically almost in the back of your sinuses press against things as she's, you know, suctioning all the junk out. So I'm not gonna say it hurt. I mean, it was, you know, uncomfortable, but it didn't last that long. Maybe 15 seconds of vacuuming, and did on both sides. And she said the surgery was wonderful. Everything looks fantastic. My septum is perfectly straight. And all the way up to that point, after she had taken everything out, I really hadn't taken a breath. I was still like, you know. And so she got everything suctioned out, and she goes, "You can breathe." In that moment, I just went, I haven't breathed like that wide open in 40 years. Amazing. I just sat, I almost wanted to tear up a little bit, because you know, it's amazing how clear both sides of my nostrils are when I'm breathing. Just wonderful. Now I have to go back and see her in 3 weeks just as a follow-up checkup. And she said it's going to be a 2-week period here where things are going to continue to heal. But I don't feel any pain, really. It's just, there's a little soreness, but, you know, from where they cut the stitch and pulled that stuff out. But no real pain. The breathing is wonderful. I can go back to wearing my CPAP machine for sleeping, so I'm going to get sleep finally. I can blow my nose. I need to run the saline rinse a couple times a day for that, just to keep it cleaned out. But yeah, start to finish, wonderful procedure, and I think it's going to change my life in many ways. So I wanted to put this video together because I've seen so many YouTube videos where it just looks so horrible. And I've talked to a couple of people just around the neighborhood here right as I got home, and they were like, you know what? Yeah, your face, it's not, I don't see bruising. You know, I don't see a tremendous amount of swelling. There's a little swelling. Yes, my nose was always big. I know, but there's a little swelling. But I've seen, you know, people like black and blue eyes, or I guess the sinuses are a little bit more, have to be a little more work done the sinuses. But you know, everything is good. My lip, which I really felt was like kind of like a fat lip, I think that was a result of the splints that were in there, because even my upper lip is feeling better just since they're gone. But so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm going to post this out on YouTube for anybody that's interested, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. But really fairly simple start to finish, not a lot of pain, a little discomfort and annoyance with 6 days of the packing and the splints in there, but you can get through it. I mean, if this is how it's going to be forever, very, very much worth it. So cheers. Good luck if you're having this in the future. I'm grateful for it.